What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of F1 2016 Mobile Career Mode. Today we have episode 48 for the Chinese Grand Prix in Season 3. We're back in Shanghai. We took a break last season and we're coming back again because I just fancied it, and it's quite a good track for the AI. I said I'm trying to make it a bit more difficult this year. There's some gameplay on the screen now from the last race in Bahrain. That had a very close finish. As you can see, this is actually the final lap. So I hope you guys have already seen this video, and it basically involved the top three being covered by less than 1.5 seconds at the checkered flag, although we just missed out. Let's see though if we can return to winning ways here today.
With the clock ticking down, the drivers have a few minutes before the race event starts. Welcome to the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix.
As you guys can see, we managed to give Valtteri Bottas his first ever Formula 1 pole position, and we start at the head of the field for the Chinese Grand Prix. For today's race, it's going to be a two-stop again. I'm getting quite a lot of confidence from doing these. We're going to do a super soft, and then we're going to do a soft, and then potentially another soft stint, because I seem to remember the tyre wear is pretty high here as we are underway at the Shanghai International Circuit. It's a very good start off the line, actually. You can see on the mini-map, neither Mercedes is going to challenge me into turn 1. It looks as if Rosberg has already gotten ahead of Sebastian Vettel. However, I'm not really a big fan of this continuous, very long swooping right-hander as we go behind the pit building. Lewis Hamilton trying to put a bit of pressure on me early on. However, we're going to try and defend as best as I can from the Mercedes at the end of the first sector. The gap 0.3 of a second, and Rosberg a further 0.6 of a second behind Hamilton. So we've done exactly what we needed to do off the start line, which is maintaining the lead. And now we're going to get to lap number 4. Now, interestingly, Rosberg has dropped back, and as you can see on the mini-map, myself and Hamilton are in a league of our own. Verstappen's now onto the podium, and Hamilton's going to have DRS here. You can see how close he's coming. I'm going to have to move to the right-hand side and see if I can go defensive at the end of the back straight. Here comes Lewis Hamilton on lap number 4. He's on the outside line. I have to leave him some space. The Briton goes clean round the outside. As you can see, the tyres are going off. Hamilton gets a better exit, and he's in front. However, we can try and fight back through the final corner. I've gone a little bit off the circuit. However, now it's my turn to grab the DRS. As we start lap number 5, it's just 0.2 across the line to Lewis Hamilton, but we're not quite close enough. As I've said in the past, for me, certainly, DRS doesn't seem to have a massive effect in this game, and I've run a little bit wide there through the opening couple of corners, and that's going to allow Hamilton to get a bit of breathing space, and you can see he's already running away from me, and by the end of the lap, I am going to come into the pit lane. Interestingly, Raikkonen's got ahead of Max Verstappen. However, I'm now going to trigger the undercut on the Mercedes. So in we come for the first of 2 scheduled pit stops in this race onto the soft tyres. And I'm going to alter the setup a little bit because I want a bit more downforce in the middle sector. It's very curvy and twisty at this track. And we're going to leave the pit lane in P4. Interestingly, thankfully, there's no glitch where it stops you at the end of the pit lane, which is very nice. It does that at a lot of circuits. But now you can see we've cut all the way over to lap number 10, and that's because nothing happened on this stint, apart from drivers making pit stops. You can see Kimi is still in P3, and Hamilton's just down the road. Interestingly, I've actually managed to catch Hamilton by about 2.5 seconds, so I've effectively halved the advantage he had over me when he left the pit lane on these soft tyres. I think they're the better race tyre, and I seem to have less tyre wear. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dive in for my second scheduled pit stop. But I've totally messed up the pit entry. I've gone really deep into the gravel trap and bashed my front wing. That is a very silly mistake from me, trying to push on the pit entry. It's going to delay my pit stop as well because I've had to have a nose change. And although we come out in P4 again, it's a long way back from here. Lewis Hamilton will be going to the end of the race, so I've got to hope to hell now that I've got some pretty decent pace. But on lap number 11, Danny Kvyat comes flying past with DRS. There wasn't much I could do there. I decided to move right and cover the inside line in case I needed to go defensive. However, the Russian driver got past me well before the brake zone. So the Toro Rosso has got the race pace on me. So fair play, there wasn't a lot I could do. Obviously, I'm going to try and come back at him as best I can. But although he's given me DRS on the pit straight, there ain't going to be a lot that I can do to close in at the moment. There's 3 laps to go in this Grand Prix. So now I've just got to hope that I've got better pace than the Russian driver. This is the final lap. I'm still pushing with everything I can to try and overtake him, but it doesn't look like I'd quite have the pace here this weekend. I know I managed to get pole, but we all know the AI at circuits where you can qualify really well, then they're always so good in the race and always a lot slower in practice and qualifying. That's been a pretty common glitch at a lot of circuits in this game as we come through the Anting Stadium section for the final time, and it will be Lewis Hamilton indeed to get his first win of the season and first win in a long time. I can't remember the last time we saw that graphic in the top left where Lewis Hamilton was a race winner. However, I've got DRS this time on Danny Kvyat. This is going to be a last lap overtaking attempt, but here comes Verstappen. Look at the wing mirrors. Verstappen might try and go for the dive bomb here. Yes, he is the Dutchman, although in the end I move across him and cover him off from making that move. But unfortunately, guys, although we started on pole, we're not even going to finish on the podium here today. It's only going to be P5 at the Chinese Grand Prix. However, with Rosberg outside the points, we are still very much in this championship battle. And there you go, Lewis Hamilton is a race winner in Formula 1 once again. It's been a long time since that happened. He had absolutely no pressure today, really. Once he got past me, the race was done because I couldn't keep up with him, so fair play. Yeah, so Perez also managed to get on the podium. That's a great result for the Mexican driver. Grosjean in the points, Gutierrez in the points for Haas, Vettel outside the points, Rosberg P19, and Daniel Ricciardo once again in the bottom end of the race. It's weird how Red Bull are having such poor races. Verstappen got the team's first points of the season today, which is interesting. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Hamilton now takes the lead with that win, but only by 2 points. Rosberg is still in it, but the fact that he didn't score today is unusual, and also it means that he's fallen slightly far back. In terms of the Constructors, we already knew we're not going to win that, and 3 races down, Ferrari are very much on our tail, and it now seems to be only Sauber are yet to get some points in this season. And also, looking at the championship again, this is after 3 races. There's only 7 races left, so we're nearly halfway through the season already. It's absolutely flying by, but I guess it would do because we're doing a shorter season. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get to 500 subscribers. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord server. Both links are in the description below. And I'll see you guys all next time for Baku. Goodbye.